When it comes to Sony 70-200mm lens, most people think about the f2.8 G Master lens, the object of desire, very expensive object of desire, especially the new G Master Mark II version. This is Sony 70-200 f4 lens, not as wide aperture, but still the same very versatile focal range. For me, I have been spoiled reviewing lenses here on this channel, and somehow to me f4 doesn't seem to be good enough. Of course that they are good enough, it's just that perception. The f4 lens is in some way worse or inferior than wide aperture lenses. It is just as good as any other lens, it's just a different tool for a different job. This lens has been out for a few years now, and it is the same focal range, and it is significantly cheaper than the G Master version. There's no surprise that this lens performs very well. It is superbly sharp and one of those lenses that it's very hard to find something wrong with. The subject to background separation is still very good, well defined, even though it is a f4 lens. You do need more light to shoot with it, but yeah, the background to subject separation, subject to background separation is still very good and very well defined. 70mm, the wide end of this lens is totally usable within indoors in the tighter spaces, but the 200mm, the long end of the zoom, is superb for anything from wildlife, landscape to even sports or candid street photography. Superb lens choice when traveling. It's just that one lens you could just take with you instead of several different lenses, because it is very versatile. It has also got superb minimum focusing distance for a zoom of this type, making it also possible to shoot great close-ups with. No vignetting, none that I can see, almost no chromatic aberration, no flaring or ghosting. It is, considering the price, it is all above board and performs so very well. It's a lens that delivers, and it does not disappoint in the slightest. The autofocusing is quick, smooth and reliable in both photography and video. It is a stabilized lens, so even though it is f4, it is possible, or should I say easier, to shoot with it in the lower lighting conditions. This also greatly helps when shooting video, the stabilization, even shooting at the 200mm handheld. This video is sponsored by Epidemic Sound. Epidemic Sound does music, and they have amazingly easy to navigate, browse and search through a library of over 35,000 copyright-free tracks to use in your videos, but also over 90,000 sound effects. It's not elevator music either, high quality tracks, songs and tunes to enhance your videos with. The cool feature is that you can get stems, so you can separate the songs into their basic elements like melody, bass, guitars and so on. Why would you want to do that? Most likely to shape the song to what you need it for. You can remove the melody if it interferes with someone speaking on video. Maybe you just want to use the melody on its own to gradually build the feel of your video, or just simply use the drums and bass, the rhythm, to drive the cuts. Epidemic Sound is the music and sound effects library that I use, and if you'd also like to try it for yourself, the link is in the description below. You do get an absolutely free 30-day trial, and everything you download and use in your videos during the trial or subscription periods is cleared from copyright strikes forever. Give it a go, it's totally worth it. The build, it is slightly smaller and lighter than G Master version, which is a good thing. It weighs 840 grams without this detachable tripod collar, which is pretty good for the lens of this size. Zooming in is all internal, the lens does not extend when zooming in, and the focus ring and the zoom ring are superbly smooth, like as you would expect from any Sony lens. It is all weather sealed construction, but some say that lack of rubber sealed around the mount could be a problem. Possibly. There are 3 focus hold buttons around the lens. They can be programmed to whatever you want via the camera. I use these to choose which eye I'm focusing on with Sony a7 IV. They can only be programmed to one function, all 3 buttons to one function, not 3 different functions, obviously. 4 switches, all pretty standard for a zoom lens like this. Standard, very standard auto manual focus on and off switch. It has got a focus limiter from full range of focusing to infinity to 3 meters, basically cutting off the minimum focusing distance and stopping lens from hunting if you're moving from closer to further away in certain situations. It has got optical steady shot, the stabilization on and off switch, and the last mode 1 and 2 switch, which basically controls the stabilization. Mode 1 is standard for standard hand movement, shake, and the second one is to stabilize your panning shots when shooting fast moving sports or wildlife. It has got 72mm filter thread, and it comes with this felt lined lens hood as well. The price, as I mentioned before, this is significantly cheaper than the G Master f2.8 version, nearly half price to be precise. It retails in UK for £1,099 or $1,498 in US. This price puts it in a really affordable bracket, not exactly cheap, but fairly priced, well priced for a Sony lens of this quality. It is certainly good value for money, capable of delivering pro results. Yes, it's not f2.8 lens, I keep saying that, but it could be a good thing. It's not always needed. Conclusion, great and very useful focal range. It is almost a must-have for any Sony shooter, and a 70-200mm lens, perfect choice. 70-200mm lens if you can't or don't want to stretch your budget to G Master version. This delivers very well. Superb lens choice for traveling, landscape, portrait, street photography and more. It is really good size and weight, it is very well built and priced for what it is. Internal zooming, built-in stabilization, weather sealing, very well priced for what it is. It is a superb lens and I highly recommend it. And this is it from me. I hope this video was in some way entertaining or informative. If it was, please give me the thumbs up. Please consider subscribing, follow me on Instagram, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. When it comes to Sony 200, when it comes to Sony 70-200mm, the background, there's a tram outside. This is a problem recording in the hotel rooms. You got an outside noise you have to put up with. These can be programmed to anything you want via the camera. I'm burping when I'm speaking.